Hey everybody, this is Sue Craig, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Cleveland, Ohio, and today I have a card for you. From the outside it looks like an ordinary card. And again, it looks like something you've seen before. But look at what it does. It flips open to reveal a message inside. Today I'm going to show you how to make this. The stamp set that we're going to be using is called The Right Words. And this is from the annual catalog. Today we're going to be making a sympathy card, and I know that's not a popular card to make, but for me it's easier to make before I need it rather than when I need it. So this is called The Right Words. The paper that I'm going to use is from the paper pack called Beautiful Gallery. And I wanted to show you some of the paper, but before I do, I wanted to show you what I do with my paper. Stampin' Up! Has a list of all of the colors that you'll find in your paper in this pack. What I do is I write it larger so that it's easier at a glance to see what papers are in here. So if I pull a piece of paper, say this one, then I can look at my sheet and know, oh, this could be Lost Lagoon, and there's also darker colors like cloud cover in here. Pecan pie might be in there. So it's easy for me to see what type of cardstock I need to go with the piece of paper that I have chosen. So let me show you just a couple of these. This is from the annual catalog, and I mark my things with an AC like that, courtesy of another demonstrator. And I'm not going to take a lot of time because I'm sure you've seen these. But again, they have a pretty scene or display on one side, and then it's pretty mellow on the other side. It looks like a gallery, of course. And today we're going to be using one of those that's a scene. So you get the idea. Some of them have scenes on them, and they all have something on the back, which goes beautifully with it. So today, here's what we're going to need. We're going to need cardstock. For our inside flap here, we're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 4 inches by 10.5. And you're going to score it right in the middle at 5 1/4. The base of our card is a typical card base, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. We're going to score it at 2 1/8 and in half at 4 1/4. So we have the typical scoring to do it in half, and then you're going to score it. If this is easier, then you fold it back and score it in a half again. Okay, that's just pretty easy, and of course it's going to go this way. So you'll fold it in half and then fold it in half again. That's how we get our Z fold. My flap inside, I didn't tell you, that's basic beige. Now you could use any neutral you want, but I did basic beige. For basic beige for the inside, not for the inside. This is for the sentiment. It's 1 1/2 by 2. That's that piece right here. And then for backing that piece, whatever you've decided you want for your background 2 by 2.5 inches. And this is Lost Lagoon. Okay. Now, for this part of the card, you're obviously going to need some designer paper. You're going to need a piece that's 6 inches by 6 inches. And I tried to make it easy for you. We'll see how easy that is. Your 6 by 6 piece of paper is going to look like this. Okay? The first cut you're going to make is to cut off 3/4 of an inch off the top or the bottom. So it depends on what you have on your designer paper. What I decided was I would cut it off the bottom because I wanted to still see the clouds up here. So I cut 3/4 of an inch off the bottom. All right, that's this piece right here. And now what I'm going to do, because I need a strip for inside my card here, I'm going to cut this piece into a 4-inch strip. And I'm going to keep this piece here. This piece is scrap. Okay, so this piece is 3/4 by 4 inches. That's going to be the inside. All right, our third cut. Now we have our piece. It's all one again here. And this is 5 1/4 inches because we've taken this 3/4 off the bottom. So that we're going to start on the left side here. And you're going to cut 1 7/8. That's your first cut. And for me, I like to lay it out so that when I'm going to put it on my card, it is going to be in the order that I cut it. So I put it first on my card like that. The next piece that I'm going to cut, which is our fourth cut, is another piece that's 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. So 2 of them, they are the exact same size. Remember, this is the front, and we've cut it in half. This front here, we've scored it so it's in half. Our next piece is going to be much narrower, and it is 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4. And this will go on the left side, this flap right here. Okay, this is extra. Now you can decide if you want to add it somewhere else on your card or not, but I'm going to teach you just the basics here. So now that we have these pieces, we can start to put this together. You can add your favorite adhesive here, and you should have an even amount all the way around. This is nice because this can be used for a masculine or feminine card. Remember, this piece is going to go here, so I'm going to pull that out now. We'll take our basic beige and we're going to fold that in half, and we're going to use our bone folder. And when I do my cardstock, if I see that there's a little difference down here between they don't match up perfectly, I just flip it over. You could also trim that if you like, but I'm not going to do that. So before I attach this, I'm going to add this piece here. And I'm going to put it on the left hand side, and we're going to put it all the way up to the edge. You notice I turned it sideways so that it's easier for me to line it up at the top, the bottom, and the side. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is to attach this to my card base. I like to do that by putting 4 pieces of adhesive on this and then holding it above to get my sides just about the same. Okay, I have not used my bone folder on this part, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to push down, and then on here I'll do the same. Okay. I'm going to take this strip now, and I'm going to open my flap and add adhesive to this piece. Put it at the bottom. It should go right at the bottom. It's going to be the whole width here of the bottom. And you can decide if you want to leave a little bit of card showing underneath or not. Okay. Let's take a look at what we're going to be stamping now. I changed this a little bit from what you're going to see here. We're going to use the same sentiment for the outside. Hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. So we're going to stamp that for the front, and you could use the same one for the inside if you like. For the inside, I chose, I wish I had the right words for a time like this. And I'm going to do it here. Now, you could stamp on here and then use this as a place to write your personal message to the person. But what I chose to do was to add some of our metallic texture rub-ons. They come in gold and they come in silver, and these are an online exclusive. And there are 8 sheets in here, 4 gold and 4 silver. And I'll tell you, I had to order an extra pack because I was having so much fun with these things. I'm not going to show you all of them right now, but I will show you how they work. So I wanted to do something that was gold, and I took this piece right here. You can see, you just cut them up. I don't want to use the whole thing. I just want to use part of it, so I'm just going to cut it. Put the part aside that I don't want. This is very easy to use. This piece lifts off very easily. And so it is also sticky. Not really sticky, but it is sticky. So you don't want to get it stuck to anything because the gold will pull off of it. So what I want to do here is I want to take this piece off. I know I want to have it go across. So I'm going to take this piece off. That silver side is very sticky. And I'm going to put this about right here, because I want these lines to kind of line up with the edge here of my paper. All right, and I'm just going to let it go, and believe it or not, all you have to do is rub this with your finger. Remember the old days where you used to have a popsicle stick and you rubbed and rubbed and rubbed and rubbed, and then you took your bone folder and rubbed and rubbed and rubbed and rubbed? Well, it's easier than that now. What I like to do too then is to lift up part of this, and I take a peek. Is it sticking? Yeah, it's sticking. So then I pull it back, and just like that you have a beautiful addition to your card. This is also really nice to use on your scrapbook pages. So we have our sentiment inside. Now we just have to add it to the outside. I wanted this to kind of be a surprise. So here's what I did. I'm going to add this to this paper. And I'm going to close the card, and I'm going to cover. See if I move it over here, I can see this part. So I want to move this over far enough so that when this is closed, you don't see that. And a trick I learned was to flip over whatever I need to put adhesive on, and I can see where I need to put the adhesive. I can put it there, or another thing you can do is to run the adhesive down the side here, but I didn't want to risk getting adhesive on the gold in this case, so I put it on this paper. Now you could use dimensionals if you want, but I'm just going to attach it like this. So there you have it. It's like a Z-fold with a flap. And there's the inside. Well, I hope you liked this card. I hope you give it a try. And thanks for watching.